Chiefs wide receiver Kadarius Toney had one of the worst days at the office you could imagine in the game against the Detroit Lions. And although there were several other plays that contributed to Kansas City's loss, you could make the argument that Kadarius Toney's failure to step up as Patrick Mahomes' number one target in place of the injured Travis Kelce was the main reason why this Chiefs offense failed to click and why the Kansas City Chiefs are currently sitting with an 0-1 record. But of course, hats off to the Detroit Lions. They played a phenomenal game in this one. But without further ado, guys, let's just go ahead and get into the film here because Kadarius Toney just had an absolutely horrible day at the office. So on this first play here, this is going to be the pick six where Kadarius Toney drops a ball that is put right on him. So here's Toney right here, lined up, isolated on the left side of the field. And the Chiefs are going to be running mesh. So that's a pair of shallow crossing routes here from Toney outside, and then the slot wide receiver right there. So when you're running a crossing route, what receivers are taught is that when the defense is in man coverage, you keep running and try to outrun your defender and try to allow the quarterback to hit you on the run. But when it's in zone coverage, you're trained to find a soft spot in the zone coverage and sit down for the quarterback to find you, essentially. So on this play here, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to get man coverage from the Detroit Lions. So Kadarius Toney, he's going to have to keep running on his route for Mahomes to hit him on time and in stride here. And to his credit, he does just that.
So this is 3rd and 6.
But as you can see right here, Kadarius Toney does have some separation. I just have to pause it so we don't get a copyright claim here. Mahomes drifts back in the pocket. The Lions are bringing some pressure here. Mahomes makes a really nice throw under pressure, and then Kadarius Toney drops it, hits him right in the hands, and then lands in the hands of Brian Branch there, and it turns into a pick six. Again, I just have to pause it here so the video doesn't get a copyright claim. But this is just a really, really bad play there by Kadarius Toney. So at the end of the day, man, the balls that hit you right in the hands, you have to catch them. And this isn't the only play where Kadarius Toney had a drop running mesh. There was another one on this play right here. And then this one too. It's going to be mesh once again for the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's Kadarius Toney right here running that crossing route. And then the other crosser right here. So on this one, it's going to be a zone coverage look for the Detroit Lions. So Kadarius Toney trained to find the soft spot in the zone coverage and sit down. And this play, I'm not going to lie, is kind of a little bit wonky and funky here from the start. So again, we got to be careful about the copyright. With Jawan Taylor, he did get a little bit of an early-ish jump on this one. I made a video on the channel here breaking down why I don't think that play was a false start. So although it may look like a false start to quite a few people out there, I broke down on the channel why I don't think that was. So be sure to go check out that video. But as far as Kadarius Toney is concerned, you can see right here, he's right there about to cross face with the other receiver. Mahomes puts it in the spot where he believes it's going to be. And with Kadarius Toney, it just ends up right in between his hands right there, and he lets it go through him. That is just a horrifically bad drop right there by Kadarius Toney. Again, I just got to make sure about the copyright, but you can't do that if you're Kadarius Toney, man. That is egregious. And that's a play where you're already in a bad position because of the pick six, and now you're going downfield and you've got a chance to convert and potentially be in position to go up by 7 points. But instead, the Kansas City Chiefs have to settle for 3. You could argue Kadarius Toney cost the Kansas City Chiefs 13 points tonight with his bad plays, and this next one is going to cost the Kansas City Chiefs even more. So finally on this one, this is going to be a little play action boot out here to the right, and Kadarius Toney, here he is right here. He's going to be running what appears to be a deep over route, and he's going to get as wide open gets, both in college football as well as the NFL. This is egregious. So we've got our little fake right there. Mahomes sets his feet, steps up, fires that one. You can see Kadarius Toney is wide open in the little space in the zone right there. He's got Malcolm Rodriguez. Like, this is a perfect throw right over Rodriguez's head. and Kadarius Toney is focusing on trying to turn up field to get that extra yardage instead of focusing on trying to bring the catch in, and he ends up dropping it. And this catch would have put the Kansas City Chiefs well in field goal range, and instead they end up turning it over on downs on this drive, and that was after their defense had forced a turnover on downs by the Detroit Lions offense. This was a golden opportunity for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm not going to say that Kadarius Toney's drops are ultimately what cost Kansas City this game, because Detroit had a phenomenal game plan, especially with that fake punt, but at the end of the day, man, Kadarius Toney's drops were pretty much a big difference, and they cost Kansas City anywhere from 13 to 17 points, depending on what would have happened on this drive. So, yeah, man, Kadarius Toney, a rough day at the office, and Chiefs fans, I know, are going to expect him to bounce back next week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I also know that Giants fans have to feel a little bit vindicated after this one. All right, guys, how do you guys feel about Kadarius Toney's rough night at the office, and do you guys feel like he's going to be able to bounce back? Drop those comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, as always. Be sure to leave a like on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel, and until next time, guys, this has been another episode of Sparkin' Sports NFL. I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.